Hey, it's Katie again. So, Yvette, got another story for you that's both hilarious and a little embarrassing.
Just the way I like it.
This one's about the time I went on a date with a guy named Ben. And I had absolutely no idea it was about to turn into the ultimate competition. Now, Ben wasn't your typical mysterious guy. No. Ben was the type of guy who made everything into a challenge. From who could eat the most pizza slices to who could race to the bus first. He was always up for some weird competition. And guess what? I wasn't exactly great at saying no to challenges. It all started when Ben asked me to go to a school carnival one Friday night. I wasn't sure if it was a date or just hanging out. But hey, who turns down a carnival? Cotton candy, roller coasters, and of course, Ben, who, it turned out, was in peak competition mode. As soon as we got there, he looked at me with this mischievous grin and said, "Okay, Katie, first challenge. Who can win the most stuffed animals at the claw machine?" I just raised an eyebrow. "Wait, you think you can beat me at the claw machine?" Ben nodded confidently. "Oh, I know I can. I've mastered the art of the claw." Well, that's where things went south. I wasn't about to let some guy think he could outclaw me. So, I stepped up to the machine, put my quarter in, determined to show him who was boss. The first claw went down, and missed. Okay, no big deal. The second claw went down, and missed again. At this point, I was seriously starting to panic. Ben, of course, was just standing there, grinning. "Looks like you're going to need some practice, Katie," he said, casually, leaning against the machine. "Shut up. I've got this," I muttered. I tried again, and this time, the claw actually grabbed a stuffed panda. I pulled it up here, but before I could even celebrate, the panda slipped right out of the claw's grip and fell back into the machine. Ben's eyes widened. "Wow, that was ... Impressive." I just glared at him and said, "Okay, your turn." He stepped up with the confidence of someone about to win an Olympic medal. He put his quarter in, and after a couple of tries, he successfully grabbed a stuffed bear. Not just any bear, though a gigantic one. "Huh. Take that," Ben said, holding the giant bear up for me to see. He was practically glowing with pride. But I wasn't backing down that easily. "All right, challenge 2, I said, trying to keep my cool. "Who can eat the most cotton candy?" Ben raised his eyebrows. "You think you can handle the sugar rush? I'm a cotton candy champion." Oh, it was on. We both dove in, shoveling sugary pink clouds of cotton candy into our mouths like there was no tomorrow. At first, it was all fun and games until I realized that Ben was, indeed, a cotton candy machine. Every time I thought I'd caught up, he'd just grab another huge handful. I started feeling a little off after my third or fourth bite. My stomach was doing these weird flips, but there was no way I was giving up. I looked over at Ben, who was still munching happily, and said, "Okay, you've got this round, but the next challenge is mine." We kept going. From cotton candy to the ring toss, then to the balloon darts. At every single booth, Ben would challenge me to something and somehow win, all while flashing that smug little grin. This date was quickly turning into a full-fledged competition. Finally, we made our way to the Ferris wheel, and naturally, Ben challenged me to who could scream the loudest on the ride. By this point, I was about ready to call it quits. But I wasn't going to give up on screaming. We got into our car, and the ride began.
As we climbed higher and higher, I prepared myself.
I took a deep breath and screamed as loud as I possibly could. Ben screamed too, of course, but it was more of a manly yell, you know. The kind of scream that says, "I'm tough, but still scared." By the time we got off, we were both out of breath and laughing. And then, something weird happened. Ben looked at me, still holding his giant bear, and said, "You know, Katie, this was fun. But honestly, I think you might have won." I blinked. "What? Are you admitting defeat? He smiled, but it wasn't a smug smile anymore. Yeah, I guess. You were way more competitive than I expected. Maybe next time, we just, actually go on a normal date. And that's when I realized I wasn't really competing with him. We were both just trying to make each other laugh. And in the end, we both won. So, moral of the story, sometimes trying to outdo each other can turn into something way more fun than you expect. And maybe, just maybe, a little healthy competition can bring two people closer together. Thanks so much for watching, and if you liked this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you next time!